The next person I'd like to introduce, his name is Chris Boggs. Chris is a Rockstar IT guy. He's coming up on his 10-year anniversary of Boggs Hi-Tech Solutions. I'm not even going to begin to speak to all the different services that that company offers. Chris has a degree in computer networking and computer science. Without further ado, Chris, would you please come out?
I was born in Dayton, Ohio. I ended up making it down to Orlando, Florida. Didn't have a plan for out of high school. I thought I was going to go into the music and recording career. I wanted to be the guy in the middle of the concert who sounded video for Metallica. But when it got close to graduation of my senior year, I found out that my family wasn't willing to help me out with loans or anything else to go to the schools and everything. So then I was kind of in a panic, like, well, okay, what am I going to do? Luckily, I scored very high on the ASVAB test, was accepted into the Navy for nuclear propulsion. And then I was kicked out of the Navy because when they did the FBI background check, my mother had hit me. We used to deliver newspapers every morning before school. She had accidentally backed up and broke my knees backwards. I didn't tell the Navy that before I went into it. So now I'm like, really, what am I going to do? And I was very blessed with one of my friends from high school. His mom worked for Lockheed Martin. And she called me up one day, and I was in a pretty good depression cycle. I had no trajectory whatsoever. And she called me up one day and said, hey, my company has one more scholarship left this year. If I told you that you could take anything you wanted to from your local Votech, what would you say? And what time I got to be there? She said, great, I'll meet you Monday morning. So by luck or by divine design, God got me there when all the plans and everything that I had attempted, it went awry. But taking the opportunity that's presented in front of you and trying to make the best out of it is going to take you farther in life than you will ever imagine. There's a lot of things that I do today that a lot of people in this area don't do. I don't believe that you have to live in a big city to be able to have a lot of the really kind of neat and complex things technology-wise. I don't think that anybody should have to not be able to do those fun things. So there's a lot of times when people ask me, hey, do you know how to do this? Yep, sure do. Let's go for it. Even if I'm not a professional at it, we're going to figure it out, right? So don't be afraid to take chances. Don't be afraid to educate yourself. Self-education, we live in a world and a time and everything right now with YouTube and all this stuff online where you can figure out a lot of stuff if you're willing to spend some time researching it. But you can't be lazy. Got to get out there. Can't be afraid of the technology. My son came to me a few years ago and he'd asked me, what would you think if I went to be an auto mechanic? I'd say that's fine and everything. But my only caveat to that is you're going to go to trade school. I don't want you to be a shade tree mechanic 40 years old, scraping to try to get your family by. Because I believe that's going to be the next six-figure incomes as your manual trades and everything, because nobody knows how to be a plumber, a mechanic, an electrician. There are so many years of everybody getting trapped in this thought where you have to go to college to be able to have a good living. I'm not taking anything away from that, but it also saddles our young people with a lot of debt that they're not taught how to handle in high school. So you wake up, you think everything's going to be good, and then you see your dreams starting to take on more and more weight because you're just trying to survive. And then you add in having a relationship, having a family, having a game plan and everything there in the beginning will definitely help you grip the trajectory to get you to where you want to be. But what I told them is you need to have a good education in that so that when you're applying for a job, your resume will stick out to that employer. Nothing wrong with doing manual labor and everything, but you have to be educated. I had to make a decision. Do I want to be really big, or do I want to just be the best in my particular field of what I was doing? We were very blessed to have a lot of flights and everything there, but I was running all over the place chasing things. A very good friend of mine, Dean Vanderpool, asked me one time, he said, well, Chris, how you doing? I said, oh, I'm doing good. I'm busy. He looked at me and goes, yep, but are you getting anything done? And that was a tremendous statement because you can be really busy at 20 things, but if you're not getting positive progress done on any of them, you're not going to finish anything well. So at that point and everything, I had a gentleman that had been a friend with me. We had installed a sound and video system over at his church over in Wyndham Summit. He wanted to work with me for a while, but I didn't know if I could compensate him properly. He kept pressing his field. We had both worked in the oil and gas field there for quite some time, and he wanted to get out of it. He wanted to get out of the rat race. So he came to me and he said, look, I'll do anything. I'm organized. I'm a good worker. I pick up on stuff quick. I don't want to work on computers. So what else is your biggest thing that you need help with in your business? It's hard to say that you're not good at something. I want to be able to fix things, right? But I had to have a realization by talking with some of the business owners in this building, Ryan Allen, Mark, from sitting there and telling me, dude, you need help. You do a great job at what you do, but you're driving us all crazy because you're just all over the place. You need more organization. So I told the gentleman, his name was Rafe, well, if I could just have somebody that could make my schedule, they could answer the telephones, they could do the invoicing to free me up to focus on what I'm good at. I hate paperwork. However, it needs to be done if you're going to have a business. You need to know your costs. You're going to find out what your budget is and how much things cost, whether you plan for it or whether you're just paying bills and you realize you're eating mac and cheese and rain cubes. But when I brought Rafe on, I told him I needed help with organization of that. And he's done a wonderful job. Now, at the beginning of my workday, I forward my cell phone to his business number. And that does two things. One, it makes sure that anytime the phone rings and someone's trying to get a hold of me, they get a live person, not a voicemail that I may forget to return. He tries to fix the problems that he can't fix over the phone. He can then schedule it and assign it to somebody else to make sure that the problem gets addressed. So knowing your limits, bringing people on, and teaching them the way that you want it done. Not so much, can you do this, but can you do this job the way I want it so that it's something I want to put my name on and put my brand on. Time is your most valuable resource, bar none. They don't make it anymore. But one of the things that all of us as business owners are guilty of is we want to see our business succeed. We want to build stuff for our family. We want to build stuff for our community. We want to be a blessing to people. And unfortunately, one of the things that suffers is our families. Because, as your wife had told me there at one point, everything that you say yes to, you're saying no to something else. Whether you physically say no or not doesn't mean it's not happening. So if I'm saying yes to help one more client, yeah, I can run over there at 7 tonight. What I'm also saying is I'm telling my son and my daughters that no, I'm not going to be home to spend time with you. And that really hit me hard because the most important thing in my life were my kids, right? Especially my little girl, Erilyn, because I only got so many years with her before she graduates high school. So learn to manage your time. Guard yourself, set boundaries. You're going to have to put the elbow grease in and the reg time in at the beginning, for sure. That's one of the sacrifices you make of being your own business owner. It sucks, but if you want to do it, you got to put in the wrench time. But you also, in order to have healthy relationships, you have to be able to set boundaries so that way those other people that mean the most in your life know that they're valued as well, right? We're blessed to be a blessing. We've all been given so many opportunities. Just the fact that we have the ability to go out and have a dream and say, hey, I think I want to try this, to go and do it. That's really awesome. When I started with Gateway, I used to run Gateway computers for that dates me, if anybody remembers a Gateway computer. They were Dell and HP's biggest competitor. And because of the computer degree and everything there that I got, I was able to move up the ranks from phone support to, then I ended up managing and running the Gateway computer repair facility in Orlando. You take in 120 computers a day to get repaired. And I quit. I quit because I got tired of doing the same thing over and over and over under fluorescent lighting. I was just over it. I quit that job, went down the road 2 miles, and got a job as a U-Haul mechanic. Just wanted to turn wrenches. I was burnt out of trying to manage people and everything else there. That was one of the things that once I started this business up, why I wanted to do so many different things in our scope, because I've had other competitors say, we specialize in one field. We're not like Chris that does all this other stuff. And that's fine. However, the reason why I don't specialize in one particular thing all the time is because I get bored. I can be good at several things simultaneously. God's blessed me with a decent mind and ingenuity there. But I guess in closing everything there, what I want to say is, if you have shortcomings, if you have anything that you know that you're not good at. We all have them. Mine is paperwork, scheduling, and invoicing. Be prompt, as well as being prompt in paying people, like Jay had said. As a business owner, be prompt at billing people, at invoicing. Don't send them invoices 6 months late because they know a budget and everything they're looking at. So be prompt on your payment, but also be prompt on your invoicing. Okay? Be fair. Be honest. Have integrity. This world's full of people that don't. If you make a mistake, do the honorable thing, admit to it, take care of your clients. That client's going to remember that kind of a part of the relationship more than they're going to remember the mistake that you made. So, and that's it.